Welcome back to the channel, folks. This is Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 in VR in one of the most incredible high-end VR headsets that you can buy right now. It's the Somnium VR1. And quite honestly, right now, I am pushing my computer to the absolute limits. In fact, actually, this is not my computer. I'm running a loaner at the moment. This is an AMD 7950X3D CPU. That's with 16 cores, I believe, with an RTX 4090. And I think you'll agree here that it looks absolutely beautiful. This is a computer by Stormforce, and I'm currently borrowing two systems off them at the moment in order to give you some decent VR settings. I'm also borrowing a 4070 system, which I've yet to unbox. But at the time of recording, I mean, by the time you watch this, I'd have already checked it out and everything. So, but look at this. Oh my word, what amazing visuals here. So you've seen the Crystal Light on the channel, you've seen the Quest 3, but now it's the time of the Somnium VR1. And as I say, I am pushing the limits of what is possible here. Look at the visuals, oh my word. We are currently at a place called Gorge River. And this is thanks to a fellow YouTuber called Luna's World. Thank you, buddy, for inspiring me to go here. I can see why you're raving about it so much. I mean, look at the details. I can't believe it. This is, like, achingly beautiful. So, if you don't know or never heard of Luna and his amazing channel, please do check his channel out in the description below. Highly recommend his content. Massive fan of his channel. So, this is what we're going to be flying today. It's a 1,000 horsepower beast of a bush plane. Turboprop, I believe, as well. So we're just going to do a bit of the walk around check. And just to say, I have been in the Crystal Light for the first sort of hour this morning. And I've jumped into the Somnium VR1 just to give me an idea of how things feel. And there's a few things that really do strike me. The first thing is the brightness. It's a massive difference. Then there's the field of view as well. The horizontal field of view of the Crystal Light is 102 degrees compared to the VR1, which is 122 degrees for me, if not a little bit more now that they've actually changed some very fancy things in the software. You can actually, the warping profile has meant that there's actually more field of view than there was before. And of course the sweet spot in this is absolutely ginormous compared to the Crystal. It is really, really big. It's very, very well done. Anyway, let's get in this aircraft if we can. Oh, I think I've... No, that's the wrong side, you idiot. See, it is a bit tricky to get some of these click spots sometimes, I find. I'm using an old Xbox controller, by the way, which is about 50 years old. But it's still running really well. Let's just check the rudder. Making sure that's all good. Right, anyway, let's get into this aircraft now, if we can. There we go, look at this. This is a very intriguing looking bird here. I'll have a chat about the performance and all that kind of thing, because as I said, the Somnium VR1 is a very, very high-end headset. And let me just, with the OpenXR toolkit, just take down some of the shakiness here. It does help when I'm talking. There we go. Bit of a trick there. Use the over prediction feature. It does help when you talk. Just keeps the image a little bit smoother. Although, bear in mind, I am talking with a VR headset on, so it is going to move. But yeah, I'll talk about all of that stuff. But let's get this going first. Engine auto ignition on. Right fuel pump. Fuel valve is open. Let's do this. Here's another thing that I love about the VR1, and this is a really weird thing to say, but it's the kind of thing that I notice, is the fact that when you plug it in, the cable is so much, it's just a lot better quality than other VR manufacturers. And even the USB casing of the, you know, when you plug it in, it's all metal. It's just those little things, those little touches that make the difference. And it should be like that, because this is, make no mistake, a very expensive VR headset. So I've never actually flown this before, so I've no idea what to expect. But it's a very cool looking bird. Let's take a look outside. Whoa! Wow. So I've no idea what to expect from this aircraft, but we're going to take off anyway. 1 degree of flap. And so at the moment I'm getting 40 frames per second in the Somnium VR1 at 85% resolution. Oh, this is fast. Oh, this is real fast. Holy sh... Right. Okay. I was not expecting that. It's like we just was catapulted off that runway then. But yeah, I'm getting 40 frames per second. I'm running quite high settings here. But here's the thing, I am running DLSS. So yeah, it's not all good news, folks, for the Somnium VR1, because for whatever reason, I don't think it's all to do with just the extra visuals, because the Quest 3 it runs so well in this thing. It runs so well with 2024. I just feel there's something going on here, and I hope that performance in VR can still improve, because we definitely need it to. The VR1 runs a lot better in 2020. However, as you can see here, it's not like, you know, a complete deal breaker. You can still enjoy it. But at the moment, I am running DLSS. Now, thankfully, if you do use the latest DLSS file, it does improve the clarity. And you can read the cockpit gauges there, but it's not as clear as TAA. So at this point, I must admit, I am chomping at the bit to get a 5090 GPU. And the latest X3D AMD CPU as well. Now, in terms of the 7950 X3D I'm using today, interestingly, the performance compared to the 13900K, for me, I don't really notice a massive difference. Although I haven't done an FPS comparison test. And I'm kind of a bit fed up of doing them at the moment. But if you are interested, I can do one. But I appreciate that this CPU, well, it's already... Well, I think most of you want to know what the new one's like. So I thought instead I could just show you some content with it instead. Wowzers, look at this. Absolutely stunning views here. How did the hobby get this good? It doesn't seem 5 minutes ago since I was using X-Plane 10. Then 11. And then we had ortho imagery. You remember, you know, downloading tons and tons of ortho imagery that would, like, take forever just to get a small section of the UK. And then MSFS 2020 arrived and completely blew apart what we thought was possible for a flight sim. And then this is here, which... It's one of those things where this sim is quite controversial at the moment. There's people who hate it, there's people who love it. I'm kind of in the sort of middle ground where for this kind of flying, yes, MSFS 2024 is absolutely frigging incredible. In fact, it's actually a technical marvel. And it is pushing the boundaries of what is possible. That's why I think the launch was so, should we say, well, it was a disaster. Let's be honest, it was a complete disaster. But I'm hoping Asobo are having some very, you know, serious internal discussions. And I hope things like streaming and, you know, basically be able to download things can be more of an option in the future. I know once the marketplace is here, we are going to get more of an option to download our aircraft and everything. But I do feel it'd be nice if we had the option to just revert back to how MSFS 2020 handled streaming, but with all of the other added features of this. Maybe that's not even possible, I don't know. But let's hope the Asobo team are on it, and we're going to see some nice updates in a not so distant future. This is really loud, by the way. I can't even hear myself because it's so loud. There we go. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Now in the Somnium VR1, how do I express how it looks? Because the thing is, this new sim does have a fantastic new lighting engine, and the atmosphere is a definite upgrade. And because of that, you can really tell in this headset, because of that QLED panel, but also because of the brightness of this display and that field of view. And it just looks so good. In fact, let's just have a mess around here, if I can, with the toolbar. Oh, you see, it doesn't always work. There we go. We still get that horrible stutter. Let's just mess around with the lighting here. Oh my god, just look at this. Incredible. Go for a few clouds. Let's have a look at that outside for a moment. That's beautiful, isn't it? Look at that. That really comes across very strongly. I really love playing with the lighting in this sim. Let's go for clear skies. You know, this brings back memories because we did do a community flight around New Zealand and we landed on that beach there. So I think we should do the same again. Whoops, not in the dark though. Hang on. And we'll just put some few clouds in there. Let's see if we can land on the beach and see what it looks like. But yeah, you know, as I say, I am more of a TAA guy when it comes to resolution and clarity, but I must admit, this works for me. This actually does work for me in the Somnium VR1. It's just, what's it going to be like when you're flying Airbuses and that kind of thing? Oh shit, aircraft system malfunction. Oh no, I think I put the flaps down too soon. I like how that was a feature. I did that on purpose so I can showcase it honest. Let's see if we can... Oh, look at this shot here as we're coming in. I feel we're a little bit fast, but I'm side-slipping like crazy here. Oh, look at that scattering effect there of the light sources. I've got ray tracing on, by the way, as well. Let's see if we can just land here. Nice and gentle. Try and redeem myself after completely wrecking my flaps. Ooh. I thought I'd landed then, but no, not quite. There we go. And what I love about this sim is, oh god, that's quite realistic, the ground loop there, is we can now get out and explore the beach. Which I'm going to do right now. Oh, I like that, that's cool. I've just got to do this, guys. Oh! Oh, that's awful. Actually, that looks pretty realistic. Although, as I say, I think the cloud sprites, I can tell that they are... Is that volumetric? No, I don't think it is. Or it's slightly volumetric, but I can see the cloud sprites moving. But that's just a little thing. So here we are on the beach. Oh. And we're now getting, interestingly, 50 frames per second. It's shot up over here. Maybe because we was at a handcrafted airport. So that's interesting. Actually, I've got an idea. Let's change the weather again to light thunderstorm. Oh my god, look at this! Oh my god. Although, in some ways the clouds look a bit crap though. I'm pretty sure I've got them on high as well, but they look a bit crap for some reason. But wow, the atmosphere is insane! Yeah, the clouds do look a bit crap actually. So I'm guessing, is that like rain? Oh, look at that! Crikey! Oh, I do like the lightning effects. That's very cool. But the clouds do look a bit weird. Let's try snow. Nice. I could spend absolutely hours doing this, guys. Hours and hours and hours. But let's not mess around anymore. Let's get back up in the air. And we'll talk about the Somnium VR1 a bit more. Because after this, I'm going to try the Varia XR4 to see how that fares in this sim. And bearing in mind that the Crystal Super will have pretty much the same panels as the XR4, I think it'll be an interesting test to see how things go. Alright, let's get back in. Right folks, let's go for a takeoff here. This thing is insanely fast. Boot full of right rudder there, and we're airborne again into this beautiful terrain. You could just drink that in all day long. That is stunning. I am very impressed with this AMD 7950 X3D, I think it is. It is running very, very well. Especially as I am really taxing it to the limit here with the Somnium VR1. But as I've said before, if you are very serious about your hobby and you can afford it and you've got deep pockets, this is the best consumer VR headset in the world. Right now anyway. This is one of the strongest points of this new sim, is bush flying. And just VFR and GA. All the things that I love, really. And I have noticed that the servers, touch wood, are behaving themselves a bit more. Ortho imagery, I still feel, is a bit too soft and it takes a while sometimes to load. Seems okay today. But as I said before in my previous videos, like, I don't like the way that this is so heavily reliant on streaming. I just don't like it, folks. But I do hope it gets better. After all, this sim is supposed to be here for the long haul. So I've got confidence in Asobo that they will sort out the kinks. I am very thankful. I don't want to be too negative because I am very thankful that VR is here in the sim on day one. The question remains though, do I recommend this flight sim? Well, in my first VR first impressions video, I said no. And I still feel the same way, guys. Even enjoying it like I am, that may surprise you to hear that I still don't recommend this at the moment. It's still too buggy. And this is actually a good example here. This terrain, while it looks very nice, it's quite blurry. And it's only starting to get into focus as I get closer to it. So the far distance, the terrain is just too soft. And if anything, I can see it more in the Somnium VR1 than I can in other headsets because this is so damn clear. It really is insanely clear, this. In some ways, it's hard to believe this is only, because it's still high, 35 ppd. It feels like it's higher than this. I do feel that's a combination of the sweet spot brightness, clarity of the NVIDIA sharpening, and the field of view coming together, as I've said many times before. But in conclusion, the Somnium VR1, well, you can run it in MSFS 2024, but to be honest, I think it's really going to shine once the 50 series graphics cards are here. And let's be honest, if you're going to buy a Somnium VR1, you're probably going to buy a top of the range GPU to go with it. But having said that, this is still a very nice experience. I just wish that the ortho imagery would be clearer. I'm not even going that fast. I'm doing 150 knots. And yet I can still see that the clarity, the sharpness is not as good as 2020. It's really going to be interesting to see how this sim progresses. I'm currently getting 43 frames per second with this AMD system by Stormforce. Not bad really, considering what we're trying to do here. See those cliff edges there. That's new. I like that. That's very nice. Isn't it funny how I'm enjoying this sim as much as this right now, yet I'm still saying that I don't recommend it. I know that's a bit odd, guys, but it's only because I enjoy testing software, and I enjoy seeing the real sort of edge of what is possible with PC VR, and that's what this is right now. But I think for most people out there, you just want a working flight sim, and for that 2020 is the way to go, at least for now anyway. Look at this, absolutely friggin' amazing. One thing I will say, even though the FPS are lower, DirectX 12, well, it does feel smoother at lower FPS. It definitely does. Like, we're only getting 33 frames per second now that we're really down low because of all the detail, but yet this feels okay. This feels alright. Somnium VR1, eh? What a bloody amazing headset this is. It's just so good. And, you know, this is what I was excited about because of this amazing new lighting engine. It's like a perfect combination for this headset with its brightness and colour palette and clarity and everything. Let's finish this with a landing in a random place. Why not? Just going to slow down now. This is so much fun. I think I really need to get the motion rig out next, don't I? I'm still just using my Alpha yoke as well. I need to try the Moser force feedback base. I need to try the CLS60 because all those devices are now compatible, would you believe, with this new sim. So I think that'll be my next test after trying the XR4. Oh, I don't know what that noise was just then, but anyway, we're down. Have I just completed a task? I don't know. Oh, look at this. Another thing I want to mention is the flight modelling does feel more fluid in MSFS 2024. So it's not just all about the pretty graphics. It's also about the physics modelling in general, which has improved, without a doubt. It has. It depends on what aircraft as well. You know, and also I think that the weather behaviour, although the turbulence modelling could be better, I think overall, I guess it's just that feeling of being on a cushion of air and being in a constantly moving atmosphere. You can definitely tell. Just look at this. I can't believe how good this looks. Right, anyway, let's just... engines are off, I think. Not entirely convinced they're off, but... never mind. We'll just take a step outside to finish. And there we go. So this has been a Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 in VR using the super high-end Somnium VR1 with an AMD 7950X3D, I think it's called, running at 16 cores and with their RTX 4090, and it is running very well overall. It's certainly doable. You know, obviously I'd love to have more frame rate, but considering the kind of crazy immense level of detail, this headset being at the real top end, you know, in terms of its resolution, field of view, it demands a very high spec computer. You can do it, and it's only going to get better from here when I work out the best ways to tweak these headsets, but of course updates and improvements from Asobo as well. From this immensely beautiful scene here, thank you for watching as always. Please feel free to subscribe. Just laughing because it's just like, just look at this. It's crazy. And I'll see you again very soon. Take care and bye for now. You know, it wasn't that long ago that seeing this in 2D mode would have blown my head off. But in VR, Oh, it's just absolutely jaw-dropping.